Welcome to part 4B of The Housemaid. This is our grand finale and is a continuation from our last episode. So if you haven't listened to part 4A yet, I'd recommend you start there before we wrap up the wild journey that is The Housemaid. All right. Chapter 57. Okay, this one was wild.
I agree. This one was wild. Why don't you summarize it?
Yeah, okay. So this is where we're like really on the rainbow road to the sun. Not only is our destination crazy, our way of getting there is crazy. So chapter 57, from Millie's perspective, Millie wakes up in her beautiful king-size bed. She checks on Andrew on the phone. She thinks he's out of there, which when I read that, I'm like, oh, my heart dropped. But turns out
I thought he was out.
I know that really got me, but he's still up there. She goes up and checks on him, and he's done everything she's asked. He's like, you need to let me out of here. You're not keeping up your end of the deal. Now she makes a new hoop for him to jump through, and this time she slides pliers under the door, which I thought was weird, giving him some sort of like weapon object thing that could maybe help him beat down the door, but he hasn't had water or food for 3 days, so I guess he's a little weak. So anyway, she gives him pliers and says, you need to take out one of your teeth. And he goes, I won't, but then he does. He rips out one of his teeth with the pliers.
Yeah.
And the chapter ends with Millie saying he's so close to the breaking point, he can't stand it. He has no idea this is just the beginning. What?
I wrote in my book when she's like, this is just the beginning. I was like, just leave.
He's almost dead.
Just go. Like, what are you doing? Like, she's taking enjoyment out of torturing this guy. And I don't want to say he didn't do anything that bad to her, but it's like comparatively, he really didn't do anything that bad to her. And she's having him rip out his teeth with pliers.
I mean, yeah, okay, so as the reader, we know what he's done to Nina, which it's like, okay, I could kind of see this being equal to that. But yeah, from Millie's perspective, it wasn't to that level, but I think maybe she just kind of knows, because he did say, like, next time you won't have this much of a chance or whatever.
I guess I'm just saying, it's like, you're talking about like punishment fits the crime. It's like, okay, yeah, we know that he's a psycho, and all she had to do is get out and then go get a job and leave. You know what I'm saying?
I guess so.
She didn't have to go to like, oh my God, you like splash me with water. I'm going to drown you to death.
I know. What was that? There was some book where we were talking about that. Anyways, but I thought that would come up in Elantris, but I forget what it was. Oh yeah, it was when the guy murdered the other guy.
To go to Starbucks.
No. Oh yeah. That was part of it. No. They had like the back and forth between them.
Was it Hrathen and the guy that he kicked out?
Oh, the fat guy.
Oh, Ahan.
Yeah, they had a little back and forth. He's like, oh, I beat your market prices this year. And then Ahan comes and assassinates him.
He's like, haha.
Didn't see that one coming.
You didn't see me turning you in for treason. You didn't see that.
Oh
my God.
Okay. My gosh. Yeah, so leaving him there, I feel like would be more of my approach, because I think part of what she's doing is like she needs to make up things for him to do, so he can't leave until he does it, but she's not going to let him out anyway. I don't know.
I think she was trying to like stall to try to get him to get too weak to beat down the door. Because if he had just tried to beat down the door from the beginning,
I thought he did.
I think he tried it. I think he tried it a little bit, but I think if he had kept going, because it's like sometimes even if it doesn't break, it's like loosening maybe like the hinges. And if he had kept doing it for hours instead of putting the books on his peeper, then maybe he would have been able to do that.
Could have changed things.
Yeah. So I think she's just trying to stall until he gets too dehydrated and weak to get out. But I don't know. Now it just seems like she just seems evil. Like she just loves
Torturing.
murder and torture.
Murder.
Murder. She loves it. Yeah.
Well, okay, to Millie's credit though, I think she's realizing that she's not the first girl he's done this to. Probably it happened to Nina, their whole relationship. There was claw marks on the door. Like I
And she
think
should have called Nina.
I know, I calling Nina totally would have been the next step. Like, hey, got any advice? Or like, you
Yeah.
have a lot of money. What should we do? Can you get me
Yeah.
another job so I can leave here?
Right.
That would have been the move.
We also get, I think for the first time, Frieda highlights that Millie has dirty blonde hair.
Oh, really? Where did it say
Hmm.
that?
It says it on 299. I put on a comfortable t-shirt and pair of jeans. I gathered my dirty blonde hair back into a ponytail and slide Andrew's phone into my pocket. Also, that phone is probably so freaking hot from having its screen open for
Well,
the
I can.
past
Oh, yeah, because she
36
can't.
hours.
Yeah, because she can't change the password without knowing
Yeah.
the password. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
so,
mean, that's
okay.
amazing that it hasn't locked, you know?
Right? Like the
Like she
button.
didn't press the button by accident,
Yeah.
or like it died. She can never get it back.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
All
impossible
right.
too. Like, what
We'll
about all night?
believe.
Oh, I guess it would leave on all night.
Yeah, you just
Probably.
leave it on and you have it in the charger. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would not be carrying that thing around.
Oh, I know.
I would be
Carelessly
terrified.
sliding it into your pocket. Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
I know. But Millie, I guess she doesn't fully understand phones, just a little bit.
Yeah. Gosh.
Okay. So now we're at chapter 58. Now we're back to Nina. Nina has gone to the house and she's like, something is not right in this home. It's very spooky. And as she's about to go into the house, who shows up but Suzanne,
Suzanne.
the nosy neighbor? And she's like, what are you doing? Everything okay? And so Nina makes a good lie that is actually the truth, I guess. That, oh, I'm sorry. Suzanne heard a terrible rumor that Andy left her for the maid. Yes. And then Nina is like, no, like, we're totally fine. I've just been on a long trip. So if you excuse me, like, don't worry about it. So then when Nina gets into the house, she's calling for Andy and Millie, and she doesn't hear anything.
This would
And then,
terrify me. Going
yeah,
into a giant empty house that you've been tortured in.
I would be like, Enzo, I know you're with Cecilia, but come with me.
Right? I would have brought Enzo with me for sure.
I'd be like, Cecilia, you're going to stay in this luxurious hotel
Yeah. Don't leave.
45 minutes. I'll be back.
Yeah. I know. I don't know why she didn't bring Enzo. I guess also it's like, what would the neighbors think, which is fair.
Mm-hmm.
But they could have made it work.
Yeah. So Nina sees that the attic is locked, and now all of a sudden she gets a conscience now that she sees like how horrible everything is, how like scared she is. And so she digs the key to the attic door out of her purse and she fits the key into the lock and she lets the door swing open.
Yeah. So she thinks Millie's in there, that something
Yeah.
terrible has happened.
Hmm.
Oh no. Would you have done that though? I don't know if I would have opened the attic.
I would have been like, Millie, are you there? Is everything okay? And if I didn't hear from her and I saw it was locked, I would call the police.
Oh, that's what you would
I'd
do?
call, I'd call the police and I'd be like, I'm just a crazy white woman in a fancy house and I'm scared of this door. Will you unlock it for me?
I have no idea what could be behind there.
Yeah, which honestly, good thing she didn't because
Ah,
59.
Andy's in there. Or at least what used to be Andy. Whoa.
Yes.
Okay, and then Millie comes out from nowhere and says, "Hello, Nina." That would have terrified me too. Anyways, so Andy, of course, was up there for a long time. He died in there. Millie was scared to go in there and check. And so when Nina opened the door, Millie's like, "Hey, could you check to make sure he's actually dead?" And she's like, "Oh, okay, I guess I can." So
Did you think
she,
Millie was gonna lock Nina in there too?
I don't think I don't really think so. That would have been really dastardly.
That would have been good. Millie's full eat. If you're gonna be like loving murder, then you gotta murder.
She only murders the guys.
Okay. I believe in equality. I think Nina should have been murdered too. And then Millie takes her identity and adopts Cece.
She totally should have taken her identity. That would
I
have
know.
been great.
Yes.
But yeah, that didn't happen. That would have been interesting. Maybe that would have been too evil. Maybe Frieda McFadden didn't want to make it that evil.
I don't know how you get here, and there's a level of too evil. She finds Andrew with several of his teeth missing.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
Billy kept making him do it.
no. Would you have done that once? Because I feel
No.
like you know she's not going to let you out.
I would have used those freaking pliers and I would have busted open the window.
Yeah, like I feel like there's a better.
And I would have been, help, help.
I know. Yeah, I can't even imagine. Even if I'm on the brink of death, I feel like I won't have enough strength to pull out my own teeth. You know? I don't know.
Mm-mm.
But it makes sense in
No.
the end.
I guess so.
Guess
All
it
right,
does.
chapter 60.
Are we done with this?
Oh, I am.
Yeah. Well, so Millie and Nina talk, and Millie finds out that she was kind of hired to kill Andrew because
Oh,
Nina couldn't do
yeah.
it herself.
Mhm.
And then they decide to call the police, and Nina sends Millie on her way. She says, "Hey, I'm going to take care of this." So we do
Mhm.
kind of have a redemption character arc for Nina a little bit.
A little bit, but she's like villainish, you know? She's not into the good territory or even neutral. She's still in the villain territory.
Is anyone in here not villainous?
I guess Enzo. But you're right. These are even Cece, even the 4-year-old.
She's evil. I don't know what happened to her. I mean, her mom's abused. So that's
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. She ain't right though. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. Okay, so chapter 60, Chrissy's guess from the beginning.
I was wrong. I thought it'd be Millie there, but it's Nina.
Oh, I thought you said it would be Nina.
No, because the book is written to where you'd think it'd be Nina. That's why I thought it'd be Millie. Because she's sitting on the couch and she's like, "Oh man." Well, at least I assumed the obvious person would be Nina.
Oh, I guess I always assumed the opposite.
Oh, you always thought it'd be Millie?
I always thought it would be Millie.
Oh, interesting.
And you always thought it would be Nina.
Wait. No. I always thought it'd be Millie because the obvious thing is that it would be Nina.
But you see, I thought the opposite.
Oh, okay. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought it was obvious that it was Millie, and you thought it was obvious that it was Nina.
Yeah. Well, I don't know which one of us was right. It's Nina in the end, though.
It was Nina in the end. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. This is where I was like, really? That's the best plot you could come up with? Because the police detective guy who's there, he's asking, he's prodding, and he's like, "How did your husband end up there?" She's like, "I don't know. I just did. I haven't been here." And then she's, keeps pleading innocent. And then he goes, let's see. Okay. The detective says, "Do you really believe your husband is the sort of man who would lock himself up there and then pull out 4 of his teeth?" And then she goes, "Maybe. You didn't know him." And then he goes, "Actually, I did." And who is this detective? None other than Kathleen's dad. What? So Kathleen was engaged to Andy, and then they broke it off, and then she was never the same, and then she fled to like Idaho or something, and he never heard from her again. And he's like, "I need to find out what happened to her. Who is Andy Winchester?" So that's why he becomes a detective in this town. And he's been waiting for the day to be called to Andy Winchester's house to solve a murder mystery, and now he's here.
I literally wrote lame.
I didn't like that. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
A 1-page wrap up for Kathleen. Justice for Kathleen. Kathleen is Evelyn.
It's gotta be.
Kathleen's the big bad.
I know. Okay, and also this isn't even Nina or Millie finding a clever way out of it. It's like they get,
No.
divine help. And the detective is
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Where was the
Ugh.
detective when Nina was sent to the loony bin 25 times?
Yeah. Exactly. Where was he? I don't know.
Where was the detective knocking on the door to interview Nina when Andrew was at work?
He could have been there a lot of times.
Yeah. He didn't even talk to Enzo. Nothing. I'm like,
Well,
you're
okay.
bad at your job. That's probably
Actually,
your daughter doesn't talk to you.
no, okay, I actually missaid that because he only transferred here a year ago and started poking
Oh.
around. And he thought it was interesting that she had claimed that she was scared of the attic, but nobody looked into it. Um, so actually,
I just feel like he
um,
could have knocked on the door when he wasn't there and just said, "Hey, I'm looking into this and I've noticed some trends."
yeah. Okay, actually, no, she does kind of cover that up because he moved there a year ago, and then the Winchesters had a lot of pull with the police department, but then they moved to Florida recently, so now he kind of has a little bit more like
I
freedom, I guess.
guess. I guess, but I feel like if it's your daughter who doesn't talk to you anymore and was never the same from this crazy guy, the police wouldn't stop you from just knocking on the door
Right?
and trying to talk to Nina and like color outside the lines.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good enough explanation.
Yeah, I don't think so. Do you think it's reasonable that the detective would go up there, find a man with all of his teeth pulled out with pliers, and then say, "Oh boy, looks like he just accidentally got locked in there, right, guys?" And everyone says, "Yeah."
Uh,
What? What?
I know this super prominent family who has deep ties in the community is found in his attic with having pulled out his own teeth.
What? And everyone goes along with it. They're like, "Yeah, sure."
No.
Ah, gosh.
We are the nose of the spaceship is in the sun right now. We are slowly melting away and there's only like 4 more pages for us to just fully
Engulf.
go in, engulf in flames.
Okay, how would you have rewritten this chapter? How do they get out of it?
I don't think they would have ever gotten to this stage.
What do you mean?
I feel like I would have been rewriting all the way along.
Oh,
And it's not,
yeah.
Millie's not there for 6 days waiting for this to
Yeah.
happen. But how would they get out of it? I think Catherine rolls in
Yeah. Well,
and
no, but Kathleen's the big bad.
and maybe she set all of this into, I don't know. Maybe she like comes in and she's like,
Good job,
you're
ladies. Join my
good job.
tribe.
Yeah, you're part of my coven now. We're Charlie's angels. Evelyn/Kathleen comes in and unveils that she's actually been masquerading as his mom.
Cece unveils, wipes off her makeup, and is the grandma.
Like, I don't know, maybe what happens is that he doesn't pull out his teeth or anything, but he gets dehydrated and then they, I don't know, like lock him up in like a bed thing and then they stage that he overdosed or something and then he becomes mentally impaired and then he gets stuck in like a crazy person's home.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what if they had reversed the crazy thing?
Yeah, and now he's like locked up in a home or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, at this point of the book, I don't think there's any like saving it because we're already touching the sun. We're already there.
I know. Yeah, man, this Kathleen story was disappointing. Man,
I know. It's like, God, Kathleen, you probably got locked in there one time.
doesn't even know what it's like.
She doesn't even know.
Oh my gosh. All right, chapter 61.
61.
All right. Nina's
Okay.
perspective.
So now the big bad is unveiled.
This was my least favorite part. I didn't
So
like the other
bad.
parts, but this was definitely my least favorite.
Terrible. So now we're at Andy's wake, and Nina's going around and trying to pretend like she's kind of sad. Enzo and Nina are like, we're going to go our separate ways now. Don't know why. That's fine.
Who, Enzo and Nina? That's what you said?
Enzo and Nina. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, because Nina's leaving, right? And Enzo's staying.
Yeah. Yeah. But I felt like they would have gone anyway, whatever. We'll talk about it. Okay. So Enzo and Nina, they're basically have their amicable part. Nina asks Enzo to watch after Millie. And then the Winchesters, Andrew's parents, come in, Evelyn and Robert. And we find out that Robert is actually quite a nice person. But we find out that Evelyn is very evil.
What?
So she says, okay, so Evelyn talks to Nina and she reveals. Evelyn says to Nina, you know, I spoke to an old friend at the police station about Andy. And Nina's like, oh my God, I'm caught. And Evelyn is like, yeah. She's like, they told me how he looked when they found him. They told me about his missing teeth. And then Evelyn says, I always told him how important dental hygiene is. I told him he had to brush every night. And when he didn't, there would be a punishment. There's always a punishment when you break the rules.
What?
If you don't take care of your teeth, then you lose the privilege to have teeth.
What?
And we find out that Andy was probably victim 0.
Yeah.
And it ends with the book of Evelyn saying, it's such a shame that he never really learned. I'm glad you stepped up and taught him a lesson.
This made 0 sense.
And then Evelyn walks away.
What? I I was so disappointed.
What did you think about it?
It didn't make sense. It wasn't a clear motivation of why would Andy want to do that to other people? Why was he flip-flopping from nice to evil? It just seemed, I don't know, it just didn't really make sense.
So I've sat on this. I've sat on it. And the best that I can come up with is that he's actually a good person like his dad. But his mom is psycho and she damaged him.
Yeah.
And so he finds these women and he dresses them up like his mom and then he punishes them. And that's how he's able to get back at his horrible mother.
Oh.
Because he makes them wear the white clothes that she wears and he makes them have the blonde hair that she has.
Oh. Yeah, that's a better explanation than anything I came up with.
But I had to think about it and it's so insane. And the spaceship is completely in flames.
We're parachuting out now.
But it's space. There's no gravity. So we just
floating. We're just floating into the sun.
And then there's an epilogue and you think perhaps we can get some rain on this fire.
Oh my gosh.
But instead of rain, it turns out to be gasoline.
Oh,
all right.
Goodness.
All right. Wrap us up. Finish this book.
Okay, so epilogue. Millie's perspective, tying up those loose ends. Millie is at another job interview for a nanny ship. and she has on and off jobs for the past year after she's left the Winchesters. And she's saying, oh, well, as you can see from my resume, I have lots of housekeeping experience and I love kids. Um, and then she's talking with the wife who's interviewing her, and she goes, oh, well, Nina Winchester recommended you very highly. And Millie is like, Nina Winchester. And then the mom or wife or whoever rolls up her sleeve and shows some bruises in the shape of a man's hand on her arm and some like strangling marks on her neck or something. And then she pulls out a knife from the kitchen and says, so, can you help me, Millie? And Millie goes, yes, I believe I can. The end. Now Millie's a serial nanny murderer.
And Enzo's like her pimp.
And yeah, and she's with Enzo now. Or I'm like, why does Millie just keep getting all of Nina's like not leftover guys, but
Yeah. Second helpings.
yeah.
Well, that's why it didn't make sense to me, like, because Enzo and Nina, it seemed like they had like a real connection. He seemed to like Cece. It made sense. When they were just kind of like, oh, he's like, it's better off that you get a fresh start. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And now he's like Millie's, I don't know what else to call it other than pimp, assassin pimp. I don't know what that, what's
Maybe
that
assassins
one?
together.
Yeah, he gets like all like the passport, he gets like all the channels open to get the women out, and Millie goes in and kills. And I'm like, this
Maybe. Gosh. I don't know. I was like, really?
I was
Yes,
like,
now
light this book on fire after that.
oh my gosh. Yeah, I was disappointing. I remember when I first read this, I was like, oh, here's all the other endings that could have happened. I can't think of what I had thought of though, but so much else could have happened. I really wanted Kathleen to be Evelyn.
I really wanted that too.
Okay, but also that I couldn't think about what the motivation would still be for Andrew though. If Kathleen is the big bad,
I
like
don't
that
know.
still
Like
didn't fit.
maybe it could be some weird kind of like sex thing or something where one likes just doing what the other one says. Like some people are into that.
Maybe,
Like
but
being ordered
Andrew,
around, and maybe they're just like killers or something. And they're like into the thrill and they're really rich.
maybe,
And they
but
like,
Andrew's never with Kathleen.
right,
That
I
he's
know.
always, yeah. We would need to rewrite the whole book.
There would have had to be like a lot of rewriting, or like turns out that Evelyn's actually at work with him. Whenever he's at
Oh,
work, he's actually with Evelyn.
oh, yeah, he is at work a lot. That could make a lot of
Yeah.
sense. Oh, yeah, that would be so easy. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like the buildup was really good and there was so much opportunity. And we flew after making that U-turn to Mars. We flew right to the sun.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and also Evelyn, why is her husband so normal? How is he putting up with this? That didn't make sense.
No. Who's
None
she
of it.
torturing now that
Yeah.
Andy's thrown?
Yeah. Was there any part of you that thought Andy actually thought that was the good thing to do because that's how he was raised?
No. I don't even know how you could get there.
How did Evelyn get there?
I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. It's like they're just like purely evil for evil's sake. And then there's
Yeah.
this very half-hearted attempt at trying to make a rationale for why they're so evil.
Yeah.
I almost would have preferred it if they were like, we're rich people and we think poor people don't have any value. And this was just all for fun. I almost
Oh
feel
my
like that
God.
would have been,
Evelyn gives Nina tickets to like their poor people coliseum or something. Like watch poor people fight to the death. Yeah, that's the whole
yeah.
ruse.
Or like they have like some inheritance or something and they have to do this as part of like their rich people cult. In order to get the
Whoa.
inheritance, you have to like
Whoa.
kill someone.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I don't know.
Anything else?
Anything else. I just feel like her just doing it just because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. That really did not make sense. So,
Her
but
becoming
no,
an assassin, that's her job now.
that
Assassin.
that's what she's good at is killing men secretly. Is that not going to leave it behind a trail? Every house she nannies at, someone dies.
I know. I guess Enzo, maybe he's like making fake IDs for her. How much
Maybe.
money is she getting paid? I think it paid a lot of money. I don't think Nina paid her that much money to kill her husband. She
Well,
paid her
no.
peanuts.
Well, I think she got pretty good money, but then when Andrew died, Nina gave her like a year's salary or something. Like she gave her a
That
lot of
is
money
true.
from the bank.
That is true. A year's salary for the live-in maid was probably
I know.
$30,000. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna, you want me to kill someone by having them rip out their own teeth, I'm gonna need 1 million,
Yeah.
and then I'll quit my job. You know,
Oh my gosh. Imagine
because
filing back to the IRS.
Nina, it seems like it would have made more sense if Nina was like, thank you so much for getting me out and getting me all this money. This worked out lovely. Here is $1 million.
Never
Go
have to work
start.
again.
Oh, well, you'd probably have to work again with $1 million at this rate. But, you could invest it. You could start your own business so you don't have to worry about having a job. You could buy a house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, she gets her next job.
Yeah, to go kill someone else. How
I
much is this lady
know.
paying her? She's like, oh, you wouldn't believe it. I got my husband killed for $15,000. And then you get to keep all the money. It's like, this isn't, no, I
I
hated it.
know. Yeah. I wish Nina actually wanted to save Millie. They could go into cahoots together. That didn't happen. Evelyn
No,
was actually just a creepy girl. Kathleen was actually
a loser.
ex-fiance. Yeah, who never shows up again. Evelyn was disappointing villain.
Yeah.
No.
It it felt very Scooby-Doo,
Yeah.
you know.
Did.
Um, okay. All right, so let's get to our games.
All right. So what would you rate the book?
I would give it I would give it a 3.5. I thought it
Okay.
was a good read. I thought the first third was good. I would say the first half was really good. That second little bit, up to 75%, that third quarter was, all
Mhm.
right, we're getting a little crazy. And then the last fourth of the book, you were insane.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy it.
I mean, I really enjoyed reading it. I was super into it the whole time. I always wanted to know what
Yeah.
was happening next. Very entertaining. So, I mean, maybe for like the type of book it is, I'd give it a 4. Maybe three and a half.
Yeah.
Three and a
I
half to
feel like,
4.
so in order for me to give it a 4 instead of a 3.5, I would have wanted better writing in general, not necessarily even with plot, but just like the syntax was very elementary, like I was talking about, online blogger. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more like cleverness in terms of like the
Yeah.
actual writing style and covering up some of the plot.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm okay with not covering it up. I just wanted more cleverness in the actual ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be it. What do you think was the twist no one guessed? Was it that Andrew was evil?
I'm
Was
going to
it
have
that
to
he
read the
pulled his teeth
reviews
out?
now. Maybe that Evelyn was like the big bad.
No one saw it coming because it's a stupid ending. They said Frieda wouldn't write that. She'll come up with something better.
Maybe
Crazy.
that Andrew I don't know, because I felt like we sniffed out like a lot of the big plot points that there were to sniff out early
That's what I'm
on.
saying.
But if I was just reading it and I wasn't sitting and like psychoanalyzing it with my sister for hours, maybe I wouldn't have picked it up as much, you know?
Yeah.
It has a much higher rating than I would have anticipated.
I mean,
It has
it's
a 4.33.
I mean, that's kind of close to what we did. I mean, I think it's really entertaining. Okay, so most of the reviews that I've read have said like it's not a great book, but it was very entertaining and I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, which I think I would agree
Mhm.
with.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So this I see this one guy, Joey R from Goodreads.
Oh, I was
He
just
gives it
reading his.
yeah. He is like right in line with us. He says 3.5. He's like, it would have been a 4 or 5, except for that last 30 pages. Look at
Exactly.
Lit with Lee. She says she gives it writing a 3 or 2 out of 5. Plot, she gives a 2. Ending, she gives a 5 out of 5.
No way. Does she like support her answer? Does she explain?
She says, I gave the ending 5 out of 5 because it's Women's History Month, and that's all I can say without spoiling it.
What? She's supporting all these murderous nannies?
Okay, she does. Okay, she says pros, you'll keep reading it because you don't know if you'll like it or hate it. Awesome, dark humor, great ending. Okay, I like everything minus the great ending. Cons, vapid plot and characters. I kind of liked that a little bit. Rags to riches fanfic written by a 14-year-old vibes. Dear Diary writing.
That's a great description. um, Dan says, you probably won't want to put it down, but you'll be asking yourself what the hell you just read. I think that's right.
I agree with that. Yeah, some people thought it was very clever and very smart and bone-chilling writing. What are they reading? I mean, it was not high quality. It was not. It was not high quality writing. Plot was good, end was wild, but it was
Yeah.
I did like it. I won't read it again, but I did like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where I am too. I don't think this really is a book. I mean, mysteries, can you really read mysteries again? You already know what it is.
Yeah, but like I'm not going to read The Housemaid too.
Mm,
I'm
yeah,
not
I
joining Millie on her murder spree.
You're not a little curious?
No. Because I feel like now that the bat that's been unveiled, she's gonna have to be murderous from the beginning. It's We're already in the sun. I don't
I
know where
know.
else Frieda can take that spaceship.
A, a new galaxy. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. This reviewer's name is Cece. Cece got it just like what we said. The part two is Nina, and this is where things come crashing off the rails and plummets into the depths far below. It's utterly bonkers and not in a good way. The very definition of totally unrealistic. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
These are better reviews actually than my Reddit reviews. No one on Reddit really had anything fun to say, which is why I don't really have a ton from our Reddit game.
Oh, they didn't have anything to say about it?
They mainly said what we kind of just said, where it's like it's not the best book, but it's a thriller that captivated me, and I read it in 4 hours. Um,
We recapped it in 6.
yeah, the fastest we've ever done. And people are saying that this is her best. A lot of people are saying this is her best book, so the other ones aren't as good.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but everyone's saying they're really into it. It just wasn't that great. So that's kind of the overall summary from people.
I I would love, now that Frieda has had like a big success with this book, I would love for her to get an editor or maybe even like a, no, I
Us.
mean, no. I was gonna say like an editor or like a ghostwriter or like a team because I think she has really good ideas.
Yeah.
And I think she has like a lot there, but I don't think she has like the training of writing like high quality syntax in a book or like some literary devices that you can use to be a little more clever on things. I just feel like if she had like a little bit of like help with the book writing, she could make it really good.
I think she needs a writer's club where she can bounce ideas off people and
Yeah.
get more ideas for the ending. I think she was out of ideas.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It felt like someone who was like, oh my God, the deadline, the cursed deadline.
Why do all of our books end like that?
I think a lot of people have a hard time landing the ship.
It's hard.
It is hard. Getting a high quality ending is very difficult, I would imagine. I've never written a book.
I mean, we should start rewriting them.
I know.
So
I know.
that
It's
that
also
could
a lot easier to pick apart something that's been
that's
done
true.
versus come up with it, you
It's
know?
yeah, I mean it's really hard to write a book. We really could not write anything better.
Yeah.
So, have you ever read The Last Mrs. Parrish?
No, but people are saying it's like a rip off of that.
That's what I'm saying too. I've never read it either, but apparently it's just like it.
Yeah, so it kind of sounds like Frieda McFadden does kind of like fanfic type of, maybe that's how she kind of started and she's really into the
Mm.
genre. And so maybe that's why we were very impressed with a lot of her twists and plot, because maybe it's something that's pretty common in the space that we're not familiar with. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
But I've been seeing there's a couple of books that people have referenced where they're like, it's just like this book or it's just like that book.
Yeah. So, okay, I think this is the most positive review that I think is like a good one. It says she writes easy, fast-paced books. As an avid reader, they feel cheap to me. Some of it's ridiculous and far-fetched, but her writing has made a lot of people get back to reading, some people for the first time. So, although she doesn't write most advanced quality stuff, she has an amazing ability to capture people's interest and get people reading again. And that's amazing. I could get behind that.
I could get behind that too. And maybe that's because I'm like a literary, I don't want to call myself a literary snob, but I've been reading a lot lately, you know. So I started
Yeah.
reading The Silent Patient.
Oh, I've heard of that. Do you like it?
It's kind of a slow start, but in terms of like the writing quality, it's so stark from Frieda or even Lessons in Chemistry because both of those books are by people who are not, they are very smart, accomplished women, but they're not authors or writers by trade.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So, they don't, the Silent Patient is written by someone who has a PhD in English, went to like
Mm.
Cambridge, is like more of like that formal, people might call it stuffy writing style.
Others might call it good.
Others might call it quality. So it's like going from The Housemaid to that book, it was like almost jarring in a way where you're like, oh my gosh. And Lessons in Chemistry, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I like that, but then in terms of like the plot, it's really slow. But I
Mm.
feel like when you write like from a PhD
Perspective.
background, yeah, it's like sometimes you're bearing the plot too much and it just kind of feels like we're aimlessly doing stuff. So I'm
Yeah.
about 80 pages in and it's just now starting to pick up a little bit. Like it took
Oh,
80 pages
interesting.
to just set the stage.
Interesting. And that's a thriller too, right?
Yeah. But
Are you
Frieda
thrilled yet?
McFadden, she got you hooked on page one.
I know. That's true. I mean, it's kind of the difference of like, I'm not a movie critic or anything, but
Yeah.
like, there's really fun movies that you can watch anytime. You just automatically get into it. But all the
Yeah.
like, cinematic masterpieces or whatever, they're really slow.
Yes.
Apparently, they're very good.
Yes. But
Critics'
you
perspective.
have to endure
Yeah.
the boring. So pros and cons. But I would agree with that, where it's like if I told someone who hadn't read a book in 20 years, read this book, by the time they read 80 pages, they've given up on it.
Oh yeah. They wouldn't have made it 80 pages.
No.
Yeah.
So,
What do you think has been the book that we've read on our podcast so far that has had the best writing?
I mean, I know Sam gave it a lot of critiques, but I felt like Elantris.
Really?
It's either Elantris or The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Not The Fault in Our Stars?
Certainly not The Fault in Our Stars. Definitely not Housemaid.
Not Lessons in Chemistry.
I did enjoy that writing style.
I thought it was really fun. Yeah.
I really did enjoy it.
We just didn't like her messaging, which maybe is part of the style. I don't know. Or maybe that's just her
Yeah.
story that we didn't like.
I think I'm still going to stick with Sanderson, but I mean, that was like one of my favorite books. I read a lot of his books, so I'm definitely biased.
I know. I was
What would
gonna
you say?
I was gonna say Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
was well written also.
yeah.
Now, that book was 100 pages versus 3 or 600 pages. So Lewis might lose us if, you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
longer it goes on.
Yeah. I mean, it was a children's book and definitely kept our attention.
Yeah. Well, we're going to read another children's book. Lemony
Yeah.
Snicket.
Okay, are we gonna start with that one?
Yeah.
I like it. Oh wait, do we want to say what questions we would ask the author? Or do you want to just skip that one? Because I feel like we've talked about a lot of things.
I think we've talked about a lot of things. I think the
Yeah.
biggest thing is what happened at the end. Was it a deadline?
Please rewrite the end for us. I want to know more about Evelyn and what was the motivation for Andy being the way he is? Because it's not clear.
Yeah. Yeah. I would want to know, like, were things like left on the chopping block that would have made this make more sense
Yeah.
somehow? Is that like an option?
Please say yes. Sorry, I'm starting to look at interviews. Oh, Frieda McFadden has a new book coming out called The Teacher in February 2024. Has it come out yet? Whoa. Oh gosh, guess what the cover of The Teacher is?
Oh no. I'm
It's
looking at it.
Are you? Oh my gosh. Is this the Evelyn origin story? I hope so. That's what I need.
Oh,
I don't think it is. I think she just
it
likes the
might
name
be.
Eve.
No, I bet it is because she said she ends the book by saying he could never be taught.
Oh, okay. I would read that because now she's
Okay,
answering our
okay. Now I'm
questions.
back in. Frida, she did it to me again.
We're gonna not take our own advice.
I know. I just talked about how I would never read another one of her books, but
Yes.
now
I'm sold.
I'm sold. I'm gonna buy it.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, maybe we do need to read it.
It looks like it's out.
I think so. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When did it come out? Oh, it came out February 6th. Oh my gosh, Candy, we are so on top of this. It's February 8th as we're we could read the sample. Whoa, do you want to read the first sentence of this?
Sure.
Digging a grave is hard work. She knows how to get you hooked.
I'm in.
I'm already sold.
I'm already sold. I've ordered it. All right. I'll see if I can get a preview and see if it's, or maybe get a spoiler if it's about Evelyn.
I really don't think it is.
Because that's the only way I want to read it.
I know. Everyone keeps saying there's jaw-dropping twists.
That's what they said last time.
I know. Who's reviewing these? Not Bookalicious.
No.
Do you think if it really were Evelyn's origin story that she would have tied it to the housemaid? You know, been like prequel to the housemaid? Or is that part of the twist?
I feel like it might be part of the twist.
That would probably make more sense.
But I don't know if I want to read the book and find out.
I don't know either. I mean, honestly, I was getting pretty nervous after reading The Housemaid.
I know.
Too much thrill.
Yeah. All right, girly girl.
Okay. Well, this is good. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Bookalicious. If you like this discussion, please rate or subscribe to our channel to help other book lovers find this content as well. If you have any questions or suggestions for future books, we'd love to hear from you at bookalicious.pod@gmail.com. As always, thanks for joining our club.